I'm back to you. So number 2, blood flow. So blood flow is not abundant to our musculature system through our midsection because of the fat percentage that we typically store there. It is much easier for our blood flow to go into our limbs than it is into our midsection until we train it to happen that way. So we can positively affect that with training, especially a strength training, because a strength training builds our muscles. When our muscles are strong and fit, they need to perform and blood needs to go to them in order to provide the nutrients for the muscles to work. So there is going to be more blood going into our midsection, which goes from here all the way down to the bottom of our glutes. All of these muscles right here, which are large muscle groups, our largest muscle group being our glute. If that glute needs blood, then the blood is going to go to it, but we need to have enough muscle for that to happen. So building muscle, lifting weights, focusing not on cardio, but focusing on muscle building in order to bring that blood flow. And with that, the second thing is fat cells. So there's 2 types of fat cells, alpha and beta. Alpha, all through the body, they're used for energy in a much easier, more efficient way or easier way. Beta fat cells are those that our body chooses to store for energy for later on. In case you need energy, in case there's not a next meal, in case there's a famine, your body wants to protect you and keep you alive, so it's going to store those beta fat cells for later. Guess where we have the majority of our beta fat cells stored? Oh yes, right there. Why? Because our body is trying to protect our organs, our body is trying to protect the species, so it needs to cover and protect our reproductive organs for women. And with that, those beta fat cells are trying to keep our body alive. The only function that our body has, the most important, not the only, the most important function is to keep us alive. So that's what the body wants to do. So those beta fat cells are right here and they're harder to get rid of, especially when they're abundant. So what do we need to do? We need to bring our nutrition in a way that we are maximizing the amount of energy that we give our body with protein. If we maximize the amount of energy that we give our body with protein, then that protein is going to send signals to our body that we don't need to store that much energy because we're well nourished, and the body's going to be able to release that fat. Stress is one of the biggest reasons that we hold on to fat, so we need to work on how we can de-stress our bodies so the body doesn't have to be in the protection mode, holding on to fat, holding on to trauma, holding on to stress, but releases it. So having protein is a great way to metabolically change your body in order for your body to have enough energy so your body can release those beta fat cells. So you have enough muscle in order to use that energy. Does that make sense? All right, I'm looking at my notes. And the third one is how much do we do? So exercise. Overdoing it can actually backfire to you. Why do we think that we need to eat less and move more? Because we are control freaks. Here, number 1, we like to be in control, especially as women. And we can control eating less, and we think we do good by doing that, and we can control moving more. Well, that will backfire, absolutely backfire, especially after our 30s when hormones need to be their healthiest. They just can't keep up with that depletion that we are giving our bodies with less nutrition, more movement. So your body is going to try to keep you alive and is going to hold on to that fat to keep you alive because it does not know that there is plenty of food, you're just not choosing to eat it, or that there is plenty of nourishing food, you're just choosing to eat a different type of smaller food that is not really nourishing your body, your muscles. Yes, so it's going to hold on to that fat. So cardio doesn't help at all. Because the more you move, the more calories you burn, the more hungrier you are, the more cravings you have, the more you're going to end up eating, the less good you feel emotionally. At the end of the day, you get that dopamine hit and then you're struggling. Protein. Prioritize your protein. Understand how much protein you need